What's up, everybody? Colin here, back on Trust the Profits. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to take a moment here to put that image into your head of when you wake up in the morning and the past performances have just been released, whether it's for Saratoga in the summer, the Breeders' Cup in the fall, or the time that we have right now, which is the spring as baseball starts this weekend. Summer is only right around the corner. But most importantly, we have our Kentucky Derby preps. And there's nothing better as you watch these 3-year-olds mature, making their way towards the first Saturday in May. And then nothing more that I like to do in the morning than have my iPad open with the past performances and a nice cup, either hot or cold, of coffee. And recently I discovered SureBet coffee. It's very smooth. They give back to equine edge aftercare. Equine athletes aftercare. They donate to Old Friends and the Thoroughbred Alliance aftercare and the Bridge Sanctuary. So it's really hard to not support a company that is supporting these magnificent animals who we love watching on the track and obviously want to take care of them after that career is over. Check out SureBetCoffee.com. This week you can use the promo code TTP20 and get 20% off your purchase of ground coffee. Go to their website. They've got directions on how to brew the coffee, including some really smart ways to make your iced coffee, which makes it even better. They've got swag and tumblers and all the good stuff. But not only do we want a SureBet bag of coffee, we also want a SureBet. And so on this video, I'm going to give you what I would do to spend $100 on this year's Arkansas Derby.
Trust the Profits is proud to be sponsored by Game of Silks. Go to silks.io to get in the game. Real ownership, real races, real rewards.
SureBet coffee.
That's right. Put that giddy up in your cup in the morning, or maybe you've had a tough start to your day after a long night watching those guys on the lounge, or you got the UAE Derby on Saturday this week, which is at 9:30. No early racing, which is always fun to watch. A horse like Forever Young is going to be the big attention grabber to see how he performs. Many have him in the top 3 or 5 of their lists for the Kentucky Derby. Obviously, a horse coming over from those across seas has not fared as well in the Kentucky Derby, but looking like an extremely talented horse. But for here, we're going to focus on the Arkansas Derby. Field of 10, and I think you're top heavy between Timberlake, Muth, and Mystic Dan. Of course, Timberlake was your victor in the Rebel Stakes. Muth comes in from the Bob Baffert barn, who won the San Vicente out in Santa Anita. We haven't seen Muth since then, coming in off of a 2-month break. Maybe something to be concerned about. The distance, Sire of Good Magic, Dam has an average winning distance of 7.5. I'm not as concerned about the 2 turns as maybe others are. Then, Muth will take the Bob Baffert money. And Mystic Dan, who was your victor by 8 lengths in the Southwest, that was at Oaklawn. Remember, that was over a very muddy track that day. And in that same race, your 3rd place finisher was a horse by the name of Liberal Arts, who's your number 5 right here. And I'm pretty high on Liberal Arts. This horse had a fast track in his first 4 races, didn't finish out of the money. In fact, he hasn't finished out of the money at all, but the last 2 races were over a sloppy and a muddy track. And I'm watching those speed figures going by Brisnet. They continue to increase. And for me, it's not that he suddenly jumped up because he liked the mud, and that's why the speed figures jumped up. I've seen a steady progression. And now the pace scenario here might not set up perfectly for him, but he's a horse that I absolutely want to take a shot with. So I'm going to include Liberal Arts. But for me, I think my strongest opinion is Muth. Obviously, if you've watched on this channel, Tim Lombre, very high on Timberlake. And this is a talented horse. But my knock is that I'm not sure that what he's raced against at Oaklawn, and I'm not saying that Muth's run against the best out west either. I think Muth's a better horse. Timberlake in the Oaklawn, look at the performance of the horses that went from the Rebel to the Louisiana Derby and the Jeff Ruby last week. I think there were 7 or 8 runners, and none of them really did anything. Common events in the Louisiana Derby. Northern Flame was in the Jeff Ruby. Those are the second and third place finishers from that last race. And, I think that Muth is going to be able to get out on the front end and maybe just take control of it and slow it down. And, as I mentioned, hopefully there's not a question mark with the distance. Hopefully controlling that pace sets it up for Muth to finish strong. I'm going to play those two opinions. I'm going to do a $25 exacta box with Muth and Liberal Arts in hopes that maybe Liberal Arts is just better than Timberlake on this particular day. That'll cost you $50 between the two of those. And then I'm going to come back with a $25 try that includes keying Muth on top with those same two horses, Timberlake and Liberal Arts. I'm not saying Timberlake's not a talented horse. I think Timberlake has a very good shot of winning this race. And if I lose, I lose. But I'm going to play my opinion. You can't put both of those horses on top, too short of a price. And we'll take a shot and see how it goes. Mystic Dan is certainly a horse that you're probably concerned about. I think, the last race, that muddy track, his wins have come on slow paces. I think he might actually have a slow pace. The victory by Catching Freedom, who he ran into two back, is obviously more flattering now. And I'm not really sure that you can say that his 101 Brisnet speed figure last was because of the mud, because his second race in Churchill on November 12th, he put up a 94. So the talent is certainly there. I'm just wondering if maybe that 101 was a little bit inflated, whereas with Liberal Arts, we've seen that mud race back-to-back with those strong speed figures, but they're part of a trend in which Liberal Arts speed figures are going up. So that's how I'm going to spend my $100 for this year's Arkansas Derby. As I mentioned, this video is sponsored by SureBet. That's my $100, hopefully SureBet. Hopefully you can take it to the bank. A little bit more spent on this video than I usually do on my doubling down. You can check out my doubling down video with the voice of Oaklawn Park, Matt Dinnerman, right here on Trust the Prophet. So be sure to check that out. Please like and subscribe. Thank you to all your support. And most importantly, put in the comments if you had $100, whether it's mythical or real, how you were going to spend it on this year's version of the Arkansas Derby, a race that was won the last 2 years by Brad Cox. So he comes in with Timberlake, trying to make it 3 in a row. Last year, obviously, Angel of Empire, a very talented horse, and the year before that with Cyberknife. So that's my take on the how to spend $100 on the Arkansas Derby. Good luck to everyone out there, and have a happy and safe Saturday.